Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Workflowy. So what I'm going to show you today is this incredibly powerful way of handling a complicated logistical situation that has multiple steps to a process and multiple people you need to engage with. So it could be something like you need to make sure you get people's membership forms for your pool, and then you need to make sure you got their membership fee and that you gave them the membership packet that you're supposed to give to 75 people or whatever. Any kind of situation like that where you have multiple steps and multiple people that you need to get people through, or if you're needing to fill 3 slots, but you have 20 people that you can draw from to fill 3 slots to teach a class 2 different days. Anything like that can be kind of complicated. This ultra simplifies it, and it makes me feel really powerful in a complicated situation to know I know exactly where I stand. I know who I've contacted. I know where everybody is in the process. Workflowy makes it easy. Let's jump in. So whatever logistical process that you have, doesn't really matter, fill in your situation. So I just called it generically the logistical process. And so you have people to contact, and this could be 5 people, it could be 100 people. And then you have a process. You need to send them an email. In this case, fill again. The specifics aren't all that important. You fill it in with your thing. But I want to show you an example, a generic example, so you can understand the concept. So you need to send them an email. You need to make sure they responded, that they returned the form. You need to double check that the form is complete. Then you need to give them their packet, and then they need to take the packet items and complete them and return them, whatever that means. It doesn't really matter. But if you turn it into either a board or a dashboard, what you can do now is, so say you have an email, and a dashboard view may work. It just depends on, I like the board view because it progresses across. It's like a little journey, but the dashboard is similar. And sometimes that's a better view, but I'm going to use a board view in this case. So I'll zoom in. And so basically, let's say that you have an email to send. You fill in the title and the text of the email. And then you can actually, in Gmail, you can create a template from that so you can send it out to a bunch of people. If it's not that many people, you can literally just embed the text here in Workflow and then copy and paste it into an email several times. And then once you've done that and sent the email to John, you move John over to the fact that you had sent the email. And as you work through and send that email, you can move these people over, and that keeps track of where you are, who you've sent it to, who you haven't. And if you have to take a break partway through, you can come back and just pick up where you left off, knowing exactly who got sent. And then once you start receiving emails back, I'll delete this, you can move the people who have responded over, and then maybe you've returned his form, and then you get another response, and then you return their forms, and these people respond. But you can see very clearly exactly where you are, and it kind of puts you in command of a complicated situation. That's why I love this. And then as you move people through the process, it just tracks itself. Switch mice so I can scroll sideways. And then, so basically the goal is just to move people through, but you can take a break, come back to it the next day or the next week and pick up right where you left off, whatever your process that you need to bring people through. This will enable you to get a snapshot of exactly where you are, and just, take the next steps. If you realize, okay, I need to pick up the pace on getting responses, and you may ping them, and you may end up, you can even add, if you realize part of the way through the process that you need to add a step, you can add it and then insert it. So if people say these 2 people hadn't responded and you're waiting on them, well, then you need to make a phone call, send them a text, send them a follow-up email. And so once you've pinged them, you can move that and you can see, okay, that's where he is. I've sent them the email and I've pinged them a second time. And if it needs to be multiple times, if people aren't being very responsive, you can move people through quickly. So that's the main concept. You just start moving people through until ultimately the goal will be to get everybody through to the end of a process. And then you can go buy yourself a drink as a reward for having moved things through. The another aspect that I've found in this is the more times I cycle this, the more times I return to it and move things forward, the faster I can get through a process. So to to explain the power, I'm in a role in an organization that for the last few decades has perennially been behind on a process that we go through year after year after year. And it's like always in a kind of a semi-emergency, like, oh, the next thing's coming up. We need to make sure we have people filling these roles and stuff. So early in December, I kind of took on the responsibility for filling those slots, created a board like this, and within a week had the whole entire year filled up. Instead of kind of doing it a month or two at a time, it was all filled up, and I just kept on cycling. I kept on coming back to the board, moving people, pinging people, kind of pushing things along, and in a week, got the work done all the way through the year, except for one slot, which I think I'm going to fill myself in the fall. Um, and actually filled a slot into 2024 accidentally because somebody said, "Well, I want to do it here, but then I want to do it again in 2024." So by returning to this, even multiple times a day, if it's something that's just really need to plug through and get that job done, it's super powerful. Give it a try. Fill in your own process. And in the next video, show another view for a different kind of situation that's in the similar arena of just needing to move maybe a few people through a long process, and it's kind of a different thing. So I'll show that. But give it a try. I think you'll like it. Hope that helps.